Hello viewers, and today we're at Ellough Park for round number 5 of the Club 100 Junior Super Lightweight season at Ellough Park today. Weather's looking quite interesting, could possibly rain later on in the day. Yeah, should be interesting. New track for me. Came in the rentals last weekend, but it was very, very wet, so not super helpful that practice, but yeah, ultra fun. Yeah, it should be interesting. Easy to overtake at this track I found, so yeah, should be fun.
In my own head, I was getting tired of trying, forgetting every word that I said in all those old conversations.
So weather update, it's slightly raining. It's like a sort of light drizzle that's sort of making everything a tiny bit damp. Not been out for my practice yet, but be out in about 20 minutes or so. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the weather conditions are gonna be like out on track, so yeah. We'll see how it goes.
I ain't got the time or the energy. That's a sort of golden memory. To be doing things that I don't really love. Only light I had was coming from the sun. But now I'm shining on a cloudy day. It don't matter what you say, 'cause even if the sky is falling, I'ma do it anyway. So save your worries, slide your loving. I can feel that good things coming. It's gonna be a bright one here.
So that was practice. Really weird conditions. It kept changing every lap because it was raining quite heavily just before I went out, and then it just seemed to the rain sort of gradually decreased, and then the track seemed to dry up a lot. And I came 6th in group, which is okay, I guess, but I definitely know I can go way quicker than that because there's so much traffic on track. And again, the weather conditions look really weird because you can see the rain over there, which just came, and you can see it's nice and sunny there, but then over there there's like rain, and maybe over there. So it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens in terms of weather. And I'm going to keep my wetsuit on just in case. But see how it goes. So we're going out for qualifying here at Ellough Park for round number 5 of the season, and I'm actually going to pull off to the side at the start of this qualifying session just to make sure I have some space to get a good lap in, because it was actually quite a mixed session, my group. So my group had quite a big difference between like the fastest people and the slowest people, so really sort of had to make a big gap. And I found even at the end of this qualifying session I was still like catching people that I gave tons of space to. As you can see, I've literally been waiting up for at least like 30 seconds or so now, trying to get some temp in the tyres. As you can see, there's a bit of drizzle actually on the camera, so it was sort of mixed conditions this session. So the track was not fast at all, because I think I was in Group A, I'm pretty sure, but I can't quite remember, as this was recorded a few weeks ago. You see green flags, so someone must have been there just a second ago. And yeah, the track was like very slippy, because you could see all the dark clouds overhead, and it was sort of like drizzling midway through the session. So at the start it was dry but like slippy, as you can see, but then midway through it started raining a bit and it got slippy, and then it dried up very fast, and I was able to set a half decent lap time, but as you can see I'm sort of struggling to find the grip around the track. As you see, I went flying off around turn 1. A bit more rain coming down on the camera, so as you can see, so yeah, I had to adapt my lines like almost every lap. Every lap was different pretty much in qualifying, because it just kept changing. But yeah, I'll skip to one of my quicker laps. As you can almost see, I go flying off there. almost had a huge crash. Yeah, as I said, literally it's been 2 minutes into this qualifying session and it's already the conditions on the track have already drastically changed to being quite slippy and slidey. As you see, all the umbrellas are now coming out, which as a driver you know that means it must be raining if you haven't noticed already. Let's see, going towards turn 1, let's see how slippy it is. So sort of taking a wet line, but like as I said, every lap was so different. It was weird. It was hard to know what line to take. So yeah, I'm going to skip to I think my fastest lap of the session, and let's see where that put us for the pre-finals. So there was my lap. Not the greatest, a few mistakes here and there, but half decent. And we'll see where that puts us for the pre-finals. So that was qualifying. I mean, like, it was decent. 6th in group. Like, I'm not really sure what happened because I was doing it all right. I was first for a lot of it, and then on the last lap, everyone seemed to go a lot quicker. So I'm not sure what I was doing wrong. And then I came 6th in my group, and so I'll be like mid-pack not B final, A final. And so yeah, I'll be like mid-pack A final. I'm not really sure, not cooked that well.
Skibbity toilet.
And
Peace out, chat.
It's just a bit annoying. So I'm starting P15 in the A final. Weather status, it was really sunny about half an hour ago, and now you can probably see behind me there's this huge cloud, which looks like it's gonna absolutely chuck it down. So I'm gonna go grab my wetsuit. Maybe not put it on just yet, but get it ready just in case. It's gonna be interesting to see if it's gonna be dry, wet, or whatever. So here we are for the start of the pre-final. It rained very heavily and then it stopped raining, as you can see, and the track actually dried up super fast in this race. So here we go, starting our race behind João Castro. We're getting loaded all from behind, tons of loading happening. Blake Southern, I think, spins over there. So we gain we gain tons of positions. We had the inside line. It's really bad starting on the outside here. We almost bin it there into Jamie Tidley Gooden, our main championship rival, going very sideways, and he actually holds it round the outside. A lot more grip there than I expected. Going into the hairpin, trying to get a cutback line on Jamie, but our kart just doesn't seem to get the drive off the corner we need. And experimenting with a few different lines there, Jamie going wide, I'm going tight. This corner seems to be very grippy in the wet, like you could basically take a flat. Trying to send one down the inside of Jamie, but he doesn't see us, and we actually get stuck on the curb, so we lose a position. But I think overall we've gained tons of places on this first lap. This corner was almost dry already. See, Declan Luff sort of ended up on the wet patch there. Again, trying to send one down the inside, but again bogged on the apex. So not a great lap because I could have lost some more. I could have gained some positions, but I didn't. And I actually smack into Jack Harrison there, who actually re-overtook us down the straight. So sorry about that, Jack. Smacked into you, and that's Dom past us and Max. I didn't even notice Max went past us there, but I think overall we still gained plenty of positions on the first opening laps of this race. And I don't know where I'm off to. I think I just got loaded off the track there by someone. Got fully punted off the track there by Orange Helmet. I don't know who that is, But yeah, I think we're sort of almost back to where we started, because had an amazing first couple of corners and then sort of went downhill from there, and somehow they've already got like a 4-second gap, but that might be due to me sort of flying off the circuit. So yeah, we're going to see if we can try and catch up to those drivers in front of us in this race. So after a couple of laps, I do actually manage to catch up to the drivers in front, and we actually see there Jamie Tully-Gooden is being spun round. We didn't actually catch it on our viewpoint from how he got spun round, but bad for him, but I guess that's quite good for us, I guess. And that's João Castro in front going slowly. I don't know if he got taken out there, I didn't really see. Yeah, but I think JD Tully-Gooden, I think, got straight lined at that hairpin and it got completely wiped out, so that's unlucky for him. But we've caught back up to those drivers in front of us. But I sort of noticed, like midway through this race, this car just didn't seem to have any bottom end. As you see there, João Castro is just going off into the distance. And we tried to go for some diabolical overtake there. But again, the car just seems to bog down a lot. I know I hit a wet patch there and I took the wrong line, as you could probably see. But the car just didn't seem to have any bottom end at all compared to the other drivers around me. Which was quite frustrating, because I knew I was driving semi-decently, but just because that car, it just didn't seem to have any pull. You can sort of hear it on the engine. It just seems to bog a lot coming out of those slower corners. The mid speed seems to be fine. It's just like out of these slower corners, like that hairpin there, or this hairpin. There's a lot of hairpins at Ellough actually. So it's not great if you have a kart that doesn't have any acceleration. But let's say if you're at like somewhere like Shennington, if you had a kart that had no acceleration, that would be fine, because most of it's just flat out everywhere. So yeah, slightly frustrating. But we're going to do our best to try and keep up with the drivers in front. Take a much better line through there that lap. Learned from our mistake the last lap. And we're going to try and reel in João Castro and Dom Balasitis in front. Trying to just be clean. And Max Sheldon Haywood, I don't know where he was off to. I just saw him completely flying off the track. I don't know if that was a missed braking point or like hit a damp patch or something. But he has just a tiny bit missed the apex. So that's a suboptimal line for Max Sheldon Haywood there. Following João, right behind us, who was interrupting my post-qualifying sort of self-interview, so we're going to try and get our revenge almost, try and overtake him back in this race. I think there's roughly halfway through the race right now, so going okay. I think we're currently P8, P9, somewhere around there, I would say. Yeah. Seeing if we can catch up to those drivers in front, and there's some shenanigans going on in front, and I just seem to sort of drive off the circuit there. You can really use those track limits on the exit, which was nice. But the only problem is when it's wet, that paint is really slippy, so you've got to be very careful when going on throttle. And you see there we're just getting completely gapped down the straight by João. João's not done anything wrong, it's just like the bike car seems to be a bit buggy. So, but sort of damage limitation, we're going to try and make the most of it. Most of what we've got here at Ellough Park. Head ducking, I presume. Someone's got a mechanical flag actually, so someone must have binned it or been binned into by someone. Because I remember the day before, I think it was the day before anyway, someone managed to like break a radiator or something, which was suboptimal. So we're doing a good job sort of sticking with João and Dom, because you can tell that some corners I am a bit quicker than he is, and then he's quicker than me round like the slow speed corners. But I seem to gain basically all my time on the brakes, which is good, because I think the braking is probably the biggest part of making time up on a lap really. Being able to sort of get the braking right, the right amount of pressure, etc. like that. And behind Jack Redfern, I don't know if he's been lapped or something. He might have had the mechanical flag earlier actually. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's been lapped or not. There's no blue flags anywhere, I don't think so. Maybe it's for position. We actually pulled him out of the way, sorry Jack. mark, but sadly I think he was a back marker, so we've lost a bunch of time to Zhao and Dom in front, so that's really costed us there. I'm going to see if we can catch back up. So literally that same lap, there's a bunch of shenanigans going on in front of us, and Dom Balasage is getting squeezed a lot, and that orange driver's just gone completely off the circuit. So we managed to gain 2 positions in it's not even really a corner in the dry, but yeah, due to Dom trying to get the inside and then the driver not seeing him or just turning across. I didn't really see what exactly happened there. But yeah, hard racing at Ellough Park. And we seem to have started to get a better run through that hairpin. You definitely tell it's drying up. The whole circuit has dried up so much in this race. And oh my god, is that some blue sky I see? Yeah, it is. And you can just see all those rain clouds from earlier just running away. Like, there was so much rain like just before this race. It was crazy, but the track dries up incredibly fast. That's what I found. Because it's a weird sort of type of tarmac. It's very what's the word, like porous. Yeah, geography key term that. Yeah, so it really soaks up the water, and it's actually the final lap of the race. So managed to stay in front of Dom that last lap, which is always quite difficult as he's a very quick driver. I think he's definitely, I think he is in the top 5 currently. Cheeky lock up there, I don't know if you saw that. Just gained so much on the brakes, but again, once again, the kart just seems to be bogging out the corners. Didn't quite get that corner right, as you see Zhao's pulling away from us through that high speed wiggly bit. Sort of taking too much curb, which sort of slides you a bit because there's still some water on it. As you sort of see on those curbs as well, there's sort of some standing water. And you see Jack Harrison sort of leading a train of 4 karts there. And that's going to be, I'm pretty sure, P8. So not bad at all in that race. Made up a bunch of positions at the start, dropped back, lots of people crashed off, and managed to get P8. So semi-decent result. Obviously not the best of the season, but trying to keep being consistent. So yeah. So now going out for the final race of the day. Here is our 3-lap warm-ups. We're just trying to get to grips with our machinery and seeing if they're up to pace. And you can already see again, this kart doesn't seem to have the bottom end acceleration that I want, really. And looking back on this, I really should have swapped my kart. As you see, Dom's complaining about his kart not accelerating, but he's actually gapping us out the corners again. So looking back on this was a big mistake from me, not sort of realising that this kart was not up to standard. As you can see, Dom's just going off into the distance, even though I'm in the slipstream, which is not great at all. You can see there, Dom's getting frustrated with his kart, even though he's going off. Slight mistake there, but yeah, big fumble by me there, not seeing that my kart was not up to pace at all. As you see there, getting sent by Logan McAllister. You can't see it on camera actually, but yeah, big mistake by me. And we're going to go to the start of the final. As you see, Dom and Zhao both pitting for new karts. And yeah, let's go to the start of the final. So rolling onto the grid in P8, not great to start on the outside of Ellough Park because the first few corners are all right-handers. So going to see what happens here. Sort of expected that to happen, and now we're going to be wedged between Logan and Declan off. We actually go flying up into the air there. Crazy scenes that we are seeing at Ellough Park. Logan actually went flying off the track there. Bit of contact there, getting loaded from behind by just some drivers again. Getting loaded again into the back of Zhao, and we're going to get squeezed once again and go up into the air again, and that's going to be a false start. That was one of the starts of all time. Many casualties in that start, and I'm going to have to make sure to get into my P8 position once again. Yeah, not the best start at all there. Definitely not great. So we're going to go again and see if we can not go on 2 wheels this time. So here we go for take 2 of the final, and much cleaner getaway, not as much loading this time. Everyone seems to be a bit more respectful this time. Never mind, Declan Luff just got almost pit manoeuvre around there, and we're on the outside, and I've literally got nowhere to go, and I've just been shoved off, and I get pudded off once again there, and I have to actually take the runoff, and we are actually all the way down in last place. So we've literally lost all our positions that we gained in that last race, and we're literally at the very, very back of the grid. So we're gonna have to do our very best to try and regain all those places with a car which we already know, which isn't like up to standard. So it's gonna be a very hard and difficult race. And we've already made up a few positions there, getting past some drivers there. Behind, I think that's Dana Rohan, I think. And you can see already that we're sort of getting pulled away down the straights again. Not the best kart luck this round, but some rounds you get good luck, some rounds you get bad luck. So like Walter Mill, for example, round 3 had some good kart luck in the pre-final anyway. In the final, my kart just was a bit off, but not too badly off. So yeah, should have really defended that in that Walter Mill race, but we learn from it and we move on. So looking to make plenty of positions up in this race due to losing all of those places at the start. We're gonna send some crazy move up the inside, almost actually going up the inside of Blake Southern there, almost 2 and 1 there, and actually hit the curb, makes us bog on the apex. And now we're behind, I think that's Jamie Warner, good driver, Daytona in-kart champion, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, got a lot of skill. And you can just see, oh, there's a yellow flag actually. I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but we move on. I actually sort of forgot that Ellough Park had those light boxes. It doesn't seem like the type of track that would, but it actually does, so yeah. Anyway, continuing. Right behind Jamie Warner, looking for somewhere to overtake. Seems to be a lot of contact happening up in front. Lots of side by side. I think they're 3 wide going down that straight. Crazy scenes that are happening there. It's like a battle between 6 people there. I think that driver with the black helmet just got punted into a barrier. And we almost got Jamie there. He doesn't quite see us, and we get hooked on the curb, which slides us around almost. And he's up the inside of that driver, and I'm going to try and follow him through, but that guy's car is rapid, as you just saw. Jamie was fully up the inside, and he's just gone. So, sort of pot luck really. Accidentally podded into the back of him. That won't be a contact warning though. But yeah, look, I thought I was going to get the run on him, but that driver took the cut through, and meant he got past, but it doesn't matter. We got some crazy switchback on him, so I don't know what I'm moaning about, because I literally overtook him. So yeah, made up a few places already. I think maybe 3 or 4 places already from last place, so definitely making a good comeback drive here, considering the machinery that we have. Hooking on that curb, trying to pull us around the corner and trying to maximise our exit speed, because as we know, this kart isn't quite up to standard, so got to try and focus on that exit speed and try and not bog down. And someone actually spins out there. I think they just hit the curb there and spun them by themselves. I think they tried to go for a move and the driver in front didn't see them, so unlucky for them, but that's another place for us, so that's good for us. And we're following Jamie, I almost said Jamie Tardigan there, Jamie Warner. Many Jamies that do karting, seems like. Anyway, following him through, getting gapped to the straights again, but we're going to try and keep up as much as we possibly can. And yeah, we're going to try and find a way past. So a few laps later, we're right on the tail of him due to some battling going on in front, and we're going to get a lovely switchback again, just like we did with that other driver earlier, and we managed to get the place. And there's a lot of battling still going up in front of us, and there's much contact, and they're all going to go off into that barrier. We get 6 people in one corner. That's a great overtake by us. We get podded by that driver, but I don't even mind because we just made 6 places up in one corner. So great overtake by us. Glad that I actually wasn't in the mix of that, because if I was just a few places in front, I would have been part of that incident and would have lost even more places. So yeah, it's all about, in Club 100, when you're starting in the midfield or at the back, it's all about just trying to sort of make your way through all the carnage and just trying not to get stuck up in it. Because if you do that, then you're set for a good result. Because if you're sort of in the top 5, the racing seems to be a lot more like respectful, and like everyone gives each other a little bit more room to race with. But yeah, in the midfield, it's sort of like elbows out racing, proper banditry. And we're right behind this driver here. He seems to have a not decent car either, and I think he just came up with a penalty actually. So we might be able to make up some places with just penalties alone, not even overtakes on track. So that'd be great if we can do that. Trying to set up a switchback, but he covers it off very well. That corner reminds me of Rye House Turn 1 a lot. We go for a lovely switcheroo there, down the inside. Great move by us there, and we actually get switched back there by black helmet driver who had that rocket ship kart that we saw earlier. And we're going to try follow him through, and you just see, even though I've got a similar exit to him and I'm in the slipstream, he just seems to be flying off into the distance, into the countryside. But yeah, that was a lovely move by us, a lovely sort of switchback, because it's sort of, the track goes to the left a little bit. It actually reminds me of a certain team sport track, Team Sport Docklands, where there's a hairpin. I think there was before they changed the layout. It's exactly like that, where you can sort of set up a switchback on a corner that's not even a corner. You'll see what I mean, like going through here, it sort of goes to the left a little bit there, see? And yeah, sort of set up a switchback, and then that leads into the inside on the braking zones. Yeah, and you can see already that driver in front is just completely gone. He's already like a second in front. So even though we are actually driving pretty well, I think, by our standards anyway. By my standards, I'm driving pretty well, because some days I sort of I'm not on the pace. Like I remember last year in the juniors, first year in the juniors at Club 100, some days I'd be really fast. So like Lids, I got pole position and came like second overall in the races. And then some races like PFI, I came like pretty much dead last in the A final. So, and that's not even because I've been hit out of the way, that's just lack of skill, as I would say. So yeah. I think we're being a lot more consistent this year, which is good, because that's the main thing in racing. Consistency is key to getting good results and good championship positions. So yeah, we're going to see if we can somehow catch up with the drivers in front, even with suboptimal machinery. And I was actually just going to cut the video there, but it's actually the final lap of the race, and you're going to see here that the checkered flag is out. So yeah, because of that false start at the start, the race was actually shortened a fair bit to only 10 minutes. So if we had a little bit more time, we might have been able to make up a few positions more. But yeah, decent race. I think we finished P14 in the end, so pretty half decent result considering our circumstances. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.